Hey, so this is the place where everything is going to take place. As you can see, it's written here, Hibiya 4th Tower. And I am extremely excited. I am extremely scared. I'm extremely nervous as to how this is going to play out. Let us start with the first email that came in. I'm going to read it, and it says here, this is from 500 Global, and it says, "Dear Sylvie, thank you very much for applying to our program, JAXA X Silicon Valley Extended Program 2025 by 500 Global." That is a mouthful. It says, "We would like to conduct the interview on the following date and time to learn more about your company." Let me tell you something. So they sent this email, this is July 10th, and I just started like a summer job which required me traveling from one place to the other. I was in Tokyo, I was in Nagoya, I was in Osaka, I was in Kyoto. So I was traveling through all of these places when I got this email. So if I'm going to put a picture of me here on the bus where I was studying on the bus, and I'm also going to put a picture maybe here of me on, like, I was preparing for the interview, so I was in a hotel. So I cut out, I prepared like, okay, how do I prepare for this interview? I'd cut out like the answers. I did some brainstorming, asked ChatGPT, like I gave them some background information about 500 Global, and I was trying to think of what are some of the questions that they are going to ask. I went back and forth. Mimi and I, we went back and forth also about what are the possible questions that they are going to ask. Cut out the answers, put them on the wall. I was studying these answers on the bus, on the train, wherever I was going to. I was studying the answers because it was like we were like, okay, these are the possible questions. I was studying like, how do I answer if they come from this perspective? What do I say from this perspective? What do I say? And then it was interview day. Oh, let me tell you all the story of interview day. So this particular day, we had to travel because my summer job, I was working with like students from Ukraine, Russia, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, Mexico, Vietnam. I was working with those students. They had come to Japan for like a summer program. We had to take them through different parts of Japan so that they could see Japan and then tell them a little bit about Japan or whatever. So on this particular day, we were going to Tsukuba. And Tsukuba is the place where my university is at. I studied at the University of Tsukuba. So I was like practically going home. So they had told me that, okay, you will be in charge, show them the university, show them around. And I was like, sure, I got it. So I was on that bus preparing for the interview, and the interview had to take place at 6 p.m. The problem is that at 6 p.m. I did not know where exactly I was going to be because I'm taking these kids to Tsukuba. So they were to have a presentation, show them around the university, they have lunch, and then take them to JAXA, which is like Japan's NASA. And then I was like, I'm not very sure where I will be by 6 p.m. So we went through the whole day. I was on the bus preparing and everything. And then we go through everything, and then by like 4 p.m. we leave JAXA. It was raining on that day, and I was like, oh my goodness, probably 6 p.m. is going to meet me on the bus, and if it meets me on the bus, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So I'm rushing against time, and I'm also trying to prepare, trying to keep my cool to make sure that I have some composure going into the interview, right? So we go back and forth, and then by the time it's like 4 p.m. we are done with JAXA, and then we had to go like to a shopping mall where the kids were going to do some shopping and then have their dinner there, and then we head back to the hotel. So this is the thing. Listen, you guys, things are not going to happen nicely for you, but sometimes those things that do not happen nicely, they work in your favor. So there was this at that time. I was taking care of the Ukrainian group because we had split up, so I was taking care of the Ukrainian group, and one of the kids in the Ukrainian group, the first day that we came, had made a comment that, oh, he is not taking any instructions from a black girl. And I was like, oh, you are racist. And in my head, I was like, if there's anything that has to do with these kids, I am going to leave them to their leader, let their leader handle them. Because number one, these kids were extremely wealthy. Number two, they came with their racism from their country. And I was like, you know what? Okay, you are going to take care of yourself when it comes to anything that has to do with you. Because guess what? You do not want to take instructions from a black girl. And I'm like, okay, good. So we make it to the shopping mall, and they're like, oh, we are going to do some shopping. And I told their leader, okay, now that it's just a Ukrainian group, do you all need anything from me? Listen, I was trying to buy time to get out of there. I just wanted to hand over the kids to them and get the hell out. So I was like, okay, so are you going to take care of them? Are you going to bring them back to the hotel by yourself? And they were like, yeah, sure. We are going to take them. We are going to bring them back to the hotel. We actually had a bus that was going around with us. And they were like, okay, we will get the train and we'll come back by train so y'all can go back to the hotel by bus. And I was like, yes. So this is 4 p.m, right? My interview is at 6 p.m. So I tell the bus driver, let us get back to the hotel. I head back to the hotel. We drive. It was like 30 minutes drive. We head back to the hotel, and then I am seated ready for the interview. I'm preparing. 6 p.m. arrives. Tash joins me on the call, and then the others, like all the head of 500 Global Japan, and then the others for the interview, they sit in there like, introduce yourself. And I was like, okay, let's go. So I go through the interview. The most difficult question that they asked me in that interview was the defensibility of the startup. They were asking this question about how defensible is the startup. Like, what, do you all have any proprietary IP or something that is specific? Or why will a big company that has been in existence not just swoop in, use the technology, AI is available to everyone, and then just crush you all on the ground? And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, how do I answer this question? And to me, it was a bit difficult to answer the question. I'm not even going to lie, because I was thinking about how defensible are we. But what I told them was, I do not think that any company can ever be by itself or own the market fully. Competition is always going to be there. Does that mean that? So I'm hoping that because we are the first people that are starting this personalization of the scholarship process, we will have a bit of runway. But in terms of some other company coming in and doing the same thing that we do, I do not think that I can prevent them from competing or from doing that. We just have to work as hard as we can, and to make sure that we provide services to our users that they'll be happy enough to stick with us and not switch to some other companies. But competition is always going to be there. So that was my answer to the question. And when we got off the call, when the interview was done, Tash and I were chatting. I was like, I don't know how that is. I don't know if that was a good answer. Same thing. I went back to Mimi. I told Mimi like, yo, those people grilled me, and it was really, really bad. By the way, this series has me in a chokehold. Is any of you watching Blacklist? If you are, please let me know in the comment section. Or if you have some recommendations, I would like to learn about it. Okay, let's get back to it. I'm not one to really have like imposter syndrome, but I have been working on this idea for a very long time. This is practically 10 years in the making, working with students. But this is the first time that I will get to, or I shared this idea with people in the VC world, in the venture capital world. And these people said, oh, come and talk to us. Like, this looks interesting. We want to work on this. We want to hear what you have to say, right? So it is like an opportunity, but also it is like the first time that I'm really going to get judged, get criticized, get scrutinized about this particular idea. So yeah, there's a part of me that is excited, but it is like having a baby. You want your baby to grow up to be a normal and functioning human being in society, but at the same time, you do not want people to criticize your baby, right? So that is what I'm dealing with. Yes, on August 5th. Remember that was July 10th, right? August 5th, getting to almost a month later, the reply. Listen, let me read the reply to you all such that you can see how pissed off I was. And this reply came at about 1 a.m. I was so angry. They're like, dear all, Thank you again for taking time to speak with the 500 Global Japan team and your continued interest in the JAXA Silicon Valley Extended Program 2025. We've now completed all interviews and submitted our recommendations. At this point, we are awaiting final confirmation from JETRO before moving forward. We expect to be in touch with the next steps within the coming days, hopefully by the end of this week. We appreciate your patience and look forward to reconnecting with you soon. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is the thing. Y'all hear me out. It is two things. You either have an update or you don't have an update, right? Like, I was like, the email comes in and it's like, okay, JStar Silicon Valley, and then the title is Selection Update. Selection Update means that you are informing people, did you make it or did you not make it, right? And then they're like, we have now made our recommendations, and then it is now you have to wait for JETRO. Y'all should have just you could just not send this email and we would have been fine. You did not have to give us that 1 a.m. And I remember thinking to myself, 1 a.m. why are you all not sleeping? Why are JETRO people awake at 1 a.m.? Like, and then you see the email comes in and then it's like selection update, and it's like, no, there is no selection update because we have told JETRO about the people that we want to choose. And I was like, are you choosing people or you're not choosing people? Anywho, I got so pissed off when I received this email on August 5th, and I was like, no, I hate it for me. And then now let us move forward to August 10th. You want to hear it? August 10th. Dear Sylvie Watikum, congratulations. We are thrilled to welcome you to the JStar Silicon Valley Extended Program. Please read carefully for the next steps in your onboarding process. Yeah! Right? And I'm like, yes. Made it. But all right, let me turn my seat. I'm sitting on a rolling chair. Anywho, so they now inform on August 8th that I've made it, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. How are we going to do this? Oh, I'm so excited. And whatever, we have to go to Tokyo, we have to do some 2 weeks program, they have to do some training and whatever. And I was like, yes. But that aside, let me just tell you all about, if you are someone that has an idea, you've been working on an idea and you want to get into like an accelerator program, you want to get some investors to look at your startup, or you want some kind of support to move your startup forward, right? 500 Global is one of those programs that you can join. One of the things that I like about 500 Global is that they are headquartered in San Francisco, but they have branches in all parts of the world. I actually was looking, I follow them now on LinkedIn, and I saw they had a program in Nairobi, they had a program in Egypt, they had a program in Dubai, they have a program in Japan. So they practically try to source for ideas or talent, or they are practically looking for the next unicorn all parts of the world. You don't have to be in a particular location for you to think that your idea can be funded or cannot be funded. And that is what I really like about them. I like the fact that they could open up and accept people from all parts of the world, because for a very long time this VC world was practically just closed off to those in the Silicon Valley area, and people moved there when they had ideas to have a business, right? Anyhow, if we make it through, we'll have to move to Silicon Valley, but at the same time they source for talent from all parts of the world, and I think that is very admirable. And we are going to be in this building. This is the building. We are going to be in this building studying, learning from several mentors, most of them who live between Tokyo and Silicon Valley. We are going to be working with them. They are going to be teaching us, training us how to pitch for the next 2 weeks. So now I'm going to give you some tips if you want to make it into the next Silicon Valley program, or practically into any accelerator program. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is pay attention to information around you. This is the thing. I feel like my gut feeling tells me that I was meant to make it into this program, because number one, I saw an ad about this program on Instagram and I looked at it. I was like, you're right. And I just kept scrolling. And then I went on LinkedIn and then I saw the same ad on LinkedIn and I was like, you're right, whatever. And then I kept scrolling. And then the next day I saw the same ad again on Instagram. And I was like, okay, this is the third time I am seeing this ad. There should be some message here. Like, let me just do a bit of background research about this, because why do I keep seeing this ad like back to back? Why am I seeing this ad? Anywho, so I go now into I click on it and then I go into the program and whatever, and then I do some background research and I apply for it. So pay attention to information around you. I saw this 3 times for it to convince me that, okay, maybe there was something to look around here. But if I wasn't paying attention to the information, I was like, whatever. But at least I was seeing it. And then when I saw it the 3rd time, I was like, okay, this is probably a message. I should apply for the program. And so I went ahead and I applied for the program, right? So you need to pay attention to information around you, because that is how I found it. The second thing is, do not apply in a silo. So let me give you all some backstory. I had applied for Techstars myself, and then I was like, oh, maybe they did not take us for Techstars because it was just me doing some things by myself. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my team together to apply for this 500 program. So we usually have meetings on first Saturdays of the month. So we had a meeting in person, and I was like, everything that we have to do, we have to focus on this particular program that I want us to apply for. So we bounced off ideas of each other, went through the questions, things that I was confused about, I asked them, we spoke about it, and that is how I did the application. I felt like doing the application with the whole team really helped me navigate through questions that I felt was hard. And I think that in hindsight, I was like, maybe because I did the Techstars by myself, we got rejected. It would be better to bring in everybody in order to like do the application together, such that if I'm missing somewhere, someone can catch me on something, right? And then the last thing, I don't want to keep this long, I'll be sharing with you all the more I think about it as I go. Prepare. It does not even matter where you're at. I told you already, I was in Tokyo, Nagoya, Tsukuba, running around for the summer program, right? But I was preparing on the bus, I was preparing on the train, I was preparing when I was going to bed, when I was waking up from bed. Prepare. The interview is really, really hard. There are so many aspects of your company that you have to understand. But this is the thing. Prepare, but if they ask you any question, do not keep quiet. Attempt at giving an answer. I told you about that question on the defensibility of the startup, right? I am very sure that was not the right answer to give. But guess what? That is the answer I gave. And for some weird reason, it worked out. So I say that to say, if you are going to be doing your application, yes, prepare. But at the same time, do not keep quiet. If they ask you any question, even if you do not know, make an attempt to give an answer. Y'all let me know in the comment section, is there any of you with some business ideas? Are you interested in getting into some accelerator programs? Are you looking to get into the Silicon Valley program? Like, what are some questions that you have about starting a business and getting into an accelerator? Put them in the comment section and I'm going to be happy to help you all with the answers that I can provide, okay? If I make it at the end of the 2 weeks, then we are going to get to the next phase, like phase 2. Phase 2 is online. We are going to be working online for like 3 weeks, and then I think everyone who makes it to phase 2 will make it to phase 3, and then phase 3 is in October, which is in Silicon Valley, and then there you have to be pitching. So this is practically them teaching you, refining your idea, refining everything, making sure it fits, making sure your business is scalable, making sure that, okay, whatever it is that you're presenting is something that you can sell it to the US market, and then they push you to Silicon Valley, and there you have to start pitching and selling that idea to people so you can get investors. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm definitely going to keep you all updated.
Yeah, for now. We are looking for investors. How about you?
Well, I have a company